my answer to the client that I talked to the other day was hire as soon as you can, because he was complaining about working more than he was as an employee of the firm and making less than he was making as an employee. So what was the point here? You open up a firm, to work more and earn less. I think it's the opposite. A lot of people open up their own firm to have flexibility and make more money. So my suggestion to him was, by the way, this is an estate planning attorney working with business owners to protect their assets. Just as a side note, he could hire an attorney and let's say pay this attorney $200,000 even. Okay, but what would you get from this attorney? Typically, if you bring an attorney that does not need to do all the administration work, so instead of billing 2 hours, which is an example we just described, that brought us down to $120,000 an annual profit, this attorney can bill probably, in my opinion, north of 80%, close to 90% of their time. Let's say you bill 90% of your time for the attorney that you bring in. This billable hourly rate is the same, $350 per hour, and they bill 90% of the time they work. That will brings us down to roughly $655,000 in annual revenue from this attorney. Let's go back to Clio's trend report again, with the 86% of the billable work actually being billed. That brings the $655,000 down to $560,000 roughly. And again, let's go back to trend report, Clio's trend report, with 90% being collected. So from the $655,000, this law firm, my client in this case that hired this attorney, will end up collecting roughly $507,000. Let's round it down to $500,000. You pay this attorney $200,000 a year, which is way more than what you're making right now, because we just did the calculation. He's making $120,000. You pay this attorney almost double the amount you're making right now to be fair and really incentivize this attorney to work for you rather than opening up his own firm. You're paying $200,000. There's an additional $300,000 profit there on the table for you by work done by someone else. Simple math.
Do you think that lawyers, though, get a little gun shy about thinking about bringing somebody on because they think, oh my gosh, they're going to want benefits, they're going to want vacation, they're going to want all these perks that maybe they dream of having or that they're used to having. And here I am starting up a law firm and I don't have the ability to maybe give them all the perks and things that they're looking for. Do you think that that's why people are gun shy about it?
I don't know if it's the perks or the benefit package, because it's minimal. If you look at it overall in the big picture here, we just did the math. You pay this person $200,000, bringing in $500,000 from this person. You're making a lot more than what the attorney itself is making. So let's say you pay another 20% in perks, you're still making a lot of money on this person. I think it's the mindset. I think it comes down to the mindset that attorneys, including CPAs, professionals, doctors, lawyers, CPAs, architects, which are professionals in nature, have hard time switching gears from being a professional to a business owner. That's the biggest challenge that I see with my clients and other lawyers, that they don't see their firm as a business. They see their firm as a professional service operator, which will limit them in the future with their growth. Yeah. That's what I see.
And you really think too to do it right away. I mean, if you're going to open a business, you're going to open a law firm, bring somebody on so you can get that, start guns blazing basically. But what do you think? So what do you think their fear is and their trepidation is?
It's a fear, for sure. It's a fear, but more than the fear, it's the mindset. They're not switching gears, and it takes time. It doesn't happen right away. Typically what I see, that they realize it 3, 4, 5 years into their firm, which in my opinion is way too late. This person I spoke to the other day is already late, in my opinion, because he was complaining that he's working way more than he was doing as an employee. He's doing a lot of networking, and I know that because I see him at different networking events, and I know that he does a lot of networking, which is causing another problem, because when you do a lot of networking, good thing is you bring in clients, obviously. It's natural that you do, the more work you put in, the more better result you will get. But then he gets more clients, and then he got to serve them because he doesn't have anybody else to serve them. So he gets super busy working, and then he puts the networking on the side, because he doesn't have time to do networking anymore. He does the work. And when you don't do networking or marketing, that falls out. And when he starts catching up with his work, he starts doing networking again. It's just the growth is not the same because he's not continuing doing the same over and over. Rather than him putting his time into doing the networking and continue the networking, even when he's busy, and just delegate the work to an attorney who knows how to do it. That's another fear. That's a fear, actually, Jody, that we think as professionals that we know it better than anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
That was a challenge I was battling with for many, many, many years. I thought that nobody else can do it better than me. I do not want to delegate. My clients love me because the way I work, it's total bullshit, to be frank.